Have you ever felt a weight you can't explain? A sense of unease, or a pattern of struggle that seems to run through your family, generation after generation? What if I told you this weight might not be yours alone? It could be the heavy echo of your ancestors, carrying the burden of what was never brought to light. There's a powerful saying: silence is not neutral, it becomes an accomplice. This isn't just a philosophical idea, it's a profound truth that shapes our very existence, especially when we talk about historical injustice and hidden corruption. When the truth of what our ancestors endured is buried, their spirits can't find rest. Imagine their suffering, their fight, their losses, all swept under the rug. This isn't just about forgetting, it's an active process of rewriting history, of institutional denial that says, what happened didn't matter. But it does matter. The refusal to expose corruption, to acknowledge historical injustice, doesn't make it disappear. Instead, it anchors that pain, that unresolved energy, directly into the bloodline. It becomes a silent, invisible inheritance passed down from one generation to the next. Let's think about this from a universal perspective. First, truth that remains unspoken stays unresolved. It's like a wound that's been covered but never cleaned. It festers beneath the surface, causing unseen damage. This unresolved energy doesn't just vanish. It seeks an outlet, often manifesting as unexplained anxieties, recurring family conflicts, or cycles of misfortune in the lives of the descendants. We feel the effects without ever knowing the cause. We're shadowboxing with ghosts we can't see, fighting battles that started long before we were born. The hidden corruption of the past becomes the invisible struggle of the present. Second, justice delayed becomes justice transferred. When justice isn't served for our ancestors, the responsibility for seeking it, or at least for balancing its absence, falls to us. This is a heavy, often unconscious, burden. We might find ourselves drawn to activism, to fighting for fairness, or constantly battling systems of power without fully understanding why it feels so personal. It's because it is personal. The call for justice echoes through our DNA. The scales were never balanced, and the universe, in its quest for equilibrium, nudges us to continue the work. The corruption cover-up exposed by a future generation is the ultimate act of loyalty to those who came before. And third, silence becomes participation. When institutions, governments, or even families choose to stay silent about past wrongs, they are not being neutral. They are actively siding with the oppressor. They become accomplices in the original act of corruption. This institutional silence is a form of corruption in itself. It's a deliberate effort to protect a narrative, to maintain power, or to avoid accountability. Think about historical erasure, the way textbooks are written, the way national stories are told. Key events are often omitted, atrocities are downplayed, and victims are forgotten. This isn't an accident. It's a calculated choice to bury the truth, and in doing so, it perpetuates the original injustice. It tells the descendants of the victims that their pain is invalid, and it tells the descendants of the perpetrators that their ancestors' actions were acceptable. So, why is bringing these hidden truths to light so incredibly important? It's about restoring ancestral dignity. When we uncover and speak the truth about what happened, we give our ancestors a voice they never had. We validate their suffering. We say to the universe, they existed. They immatered. Their struggle was real. This act of acknowledgement is profoundly healing, not just for them, but for us. It's like finally placing a name on a previously unmarked grave. It brings closure. It brings honor. Exposing a historical injustice isn't about reopening old wounds. It's about finally cleaning them so they can heal properly. Think about the immense pressure that builds up over generations of silence. It's like a spiritual pressure cooker. Each generation adds another layer of unspoken pain, unexpressed anger, and unacknowledged grief. By bravely seeking and speaking the truth, we release that pressure. It's a collective exhale that can be felt through the entire lineage. When a long-hidden corruption covered-up is finally exposed, it's not just a headline, it's a liberation. It frees the current generation from carrying that toxic pent-up energy. It allows us to break the cycles of suffering that have plagued our families. We stop fighting our ancestors' battles and are finally free to live our own lives with clarity and purpose. The journey to uncover hidden corruption and historical injustice is not easy. It requires courage, persistence, and a deep commitment to truth and justice. You might face resistance from those who benefit from the silence. You might be told to let it go or move on. But your soul knows that you can't move on from something that is still inactive. Living wound within your family story. The truth has a right to be known. Your ancestors have a right to be honored, and you have a right to be free from the weight of their unresolved pain. So, how do we begin this work? It starts with curiosity. It starts by asking questions. What are the stories that were never told in your family? What are the silences, the gaps in your history? Research your genealogy. Listen to the elders. Read between the lines of official records. Look for the whispers of historical injustice that may have impacted your lineage. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding. It's about piecing together a puzzle that, once complete, can reveal the source of so much unexplained difficulty. This process is deeply spiritual. As you seek the truth, you are connecting with your ancestors on a profound level. You are becoming their champion, their advocate, their voice in the present day. You might find that synchronicities start to occur. The right information falls into your lap. You meet people who can help you. This is your ancestors working with you, guiding you toward the truth that will set you all free. Uncovering the truth about hidden corruption is an act of love. It's an act of liberation. By shining a light on the darkness of the past, we don't just heal what was. We transform what is and what will be. We ensure that future generations are born into a lineage of truth, honor, and freedom, unburdened by the secrets and sorrows of those who came before. The quest for truth and justice is one of the most powerful gifts we can give to ourselves and to our entire family line. We are the ones who can finally stop the transfer of pain. We can be the generation that says, "The silence ends with me." By exposing the corruption covered up, we are not just correcting the historical record, we are healing the soul of our family. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive today. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on healing generational patterns and uncovering hidden truths. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below.